Power isn't just given, it's taken. Every empire has a secret, every family has a shadow, and every choice can either build a dynasty or destroy it. Are you ready to witness the rise of a legacy that will change everything? The city sleeps under a blanket of darkness, yet the streets hum with life unseen. Neon lights flicker, reflecting on puddles left by the afternoon rain, casting ghostly streaks across abandoned sidewalks. From a distance, the towering skyline looks calm, almost peaceful. But beneath its gleaming surface, secrets stir. In the heart of the city, a mansion stands tall, its windows glowing faintly against the night. The gates creak as they open slowly, welcoming an unknown presence. Inside, the air is thick with tension. The walls whisper stories of triumph and betrayal, stories that only those who dare to claim power understand. Somewhere in the shadows, a figure moves with purpose, careful, calculated. Each step echoing softly against polished marble floors. No one sees the face, but the aura is unmistakable authority, control, and an unspoken promise of dominance. Hands slide across a polished table, brushing over old leather-bound books and folders stacked neatly in dark corners. Papers carry the weight of decisions long made, decisions that built the empire but left unseen cracks in its foundation. A pen rests in the center, poised like a weapon ready to sign another deal. Another chain binding someone to a destiny they cannot escape. Each corner of the room tells a story, a shattered glass here, a faint scratch across the wall there. These are not accidents, they are reminders that power is fragile. And even the smallest betrayal can tip the scales. Shadows play on the walls, twisting and merging, as if the room itself is alive, watching, waiting for the right moment to reveal the truth hidden within. Outside, the wind carries whispers from alleys and rooftops, drifting like invisible fingers through the streets. Vehicles pass by, their headlights briefly illuminating fleeting glimpses of people who matter and people who will soon matter. Every glance, every subtle movement is a piece of the puzzle that forms this legacy, and yet no one outside understands. They see the mansion, the lights, the calm streets. They see nothing of the silent wars fought in the corridors, the quiet strategies laid in smoke-filled rooms, or the promises whispered behind closed doors. It is a world apart, a kingdom built on secrets, waiting for the heir to step forward. In the silence of the mansion, a door creaks open. The figure pauses, their presence commanding the room even without a word. Fingers hover over objects of power, a sealed envelope, an ornate key, a small but deadly weapon tucked into a drawer. Every item tells a story of the people who once held them, and choices made and battles won or lost. In the dim light, the figure surveys the room as if memorizing every detail, every possibility. It is not arrogance, it is preparation. For in this game of legacy, knowledge is the sharpest weapon, and understanding the past is the only way to survive the future. The mansion seems to breathe with them, shadows stretching and shrinking as if reacting to each movement. Outside, thunder rumbles softly, distant but ominous, hinting at a storm that is both literal and metaphorical. The city beyond continues its rhythm, oblivious to the quiet tension unfolding in the heart of the night. But inside, every decision matters. Every glance, every step, every silent thought could tip the balance of power, shifting the trajectory of the legacy that hangs in the air like a fragile thread. This is only the beginning, and the true story is yet to be written. But the first move has already been made, and the game is in motion. The night deepens, and the mansion seems almost alive with secrets that stretch beyond its walls. Every shadow holds a story, and every corner carries the weight of past decisions. In a quiet room tucked behind heavy doors, papers lie scattered across a dark oak desk, some burned at the edges, others marked with cryptic notes that hint at deals made in whispers and promises that were broken without hesitation. The air smells faintly of smoke and leather, a mix that tells of hurried escapes and private confrontations. A figure moves silently across the floor, their footsteps light but deliberate, pausing only to examine objects left behind. Old photographs, half-empty glasses, and a briefcase that has traveled more than any person should. Each item is a clue, a key to understanding the web of power that binds everyone in this world, but also a warning. One wrong step and the empire could collapse. Outside, the city is alive with sounds that seem distant but are never truly gone. Sirens wail in the distance, echoing through narrow streets and bouncing off high walls. The wind carries fragments of conversations, the hurried tone of someone running from a threat, the soft laughter of someone unaware of what's coming, and the quiet sobs of someone who already lost. The figure pauses at the window, looking out as neon signs reflect off puddles, creating fractured images of a world that thrives on control and fear. Every flicker of light seems to carry a hidden message, a code waiting to be cracked by those who understand the rules, and while the city sleeps under the illusion of safety. The mansion remains a fortress where power is measured not by wealth or influence, but by knowledge, strategy, and the ability to anticipate betrayal before it happens. A door creaks, and another figure steps into the room. No words are exchanged, but the tension between them is palpable, a silent acknowledgement of shared history and unspoken rivalry. Their eyes meet for a fleeting moment, and in that instant, decades of secrets are conveyed without a single sound. Each knows the other's strengths, weaknesses, and the consequences of a single misstep. In the flickering light, shadows dance across the walls, elongating and merging as if the mansion itself is aware of the choices being made. On the desk, a single envelope sits untouched, its contents unknown, but heavy with implication. The figure reaches for it, hesitation visible in every movement, knowing that opening it could change the course of the legacy entirely. Outside, thunder rumbles, low and menacing, matching the rhythm of a city that refuses to sleep while its secrets are unearthed. Suddenly, movement outside catches attention quick. Fleeting shadows crossing the driveway, figures that vanish as quickly as they appear. The wind carries the faintest hint of danger, a whisper that something or someone is watching. The figure does not flinch, their movements careful, almost ritualistic, as if every step is choreographed to maintain control. In the reflection of a polished surface, the city skyline is visible, distant but omnipresent, reminding them that power is not confined to the mansion's walls. Every decision resonates beyond these halls, affecting people who will never know the faces behind the choices. And as they move through the room, fingers brushing over objects of influence, it becomes clear the legacy is not passive. It demands attention, respect, and cunning, punishing weakness without mercy. The room grows colder, shadows deeper, and the feeling of anticipation thickens the air. A letter slides from the envelope, its message brief but incendiary enough to ignite a chain reaction that will reach every corner of the empire. The figure studies it, expression unreadable, before tucking it carefully into a pocket. Each second stretches like an eternity as they prepare for what is coming, a confrontation that will test loyalty, strength, and the limits of ambition. Outside, rain begins to fall, soft at first, then heavier, tapping against the windows like a silent countdown. Every droplet seems to echo the tension in the mansion, the fragile balance of power hanging by a thread. And yet, even in this quiet, a sense of inevitability pervades. The legacy is moving, evolving, and those who think they are in control may already be part of someone else's design. In this world, trust is rare and fleeting. Every glance, every gesture, every shadow carries meaning. Alliances are fragile, built on convenience rather than loyalty, and secrets are weapons sharper than any blade. The figure moves to the fireplace, where flames flicker and cast long, distorted silhouettes on the walls. In the firelight, their reflection merges with the shadows, symbolizing the merging of past and present, ambition and danger. The night outside rages on, indifferent to the struggles inside. But within these walls, every heartbeat is amplified, every choice magnified. The legacy waits patiently, its power growing silently. Unseen by most, but impossible to ignore by those who are destined to inherit or challenge it. The mansion is no longer just a building. It feels like a battlefield waiting to erupt, Every shadow seems sharper, every sound more pronounced. Footsteps echo through the empty halls, each one a warning. A signal that the balance of power is fragile and easily tipped. In the library, rows of books stand like silent witnesses, their spines worn with age, their pages carrying secrets of generations past. A figure pauses, hand hovering over a particular volume. A relic of past strategies and unspoken rules. The air is thick, almost suffocating, as if the room itself senses the storm that is brewing. Outside, the wind howls through cracks in the walls, rattling shutters and stirring loose papers into frantic motion, a mirror to the chaos that is about to unfold inside. Suddenly, a hidden door opens, revealing a narrow corridor cloaked in darkness. Another figure slips in, movements fluid and purposeful, blending with the shadows as if they belong to the darkness itself. Eyes meet across the room for a fleeting moment, charged with unspoken tension. This is no ordinary encounter, it is. There, outside, the storm intensifies. Rain lashes against windows, streaming down in sheets, hiding fleeting figures in the streets and alleyways. Lightning flashes, illuminating the mansion in stark, dramatic light for a split second, revealing the contours of the city that lies beyond, alive, indifferent, and yet intimately connected to the power struggles within. Every drop of rain seems to mirror the tension in the mansion, each one a reminder that nothing lasts forever. And nothing is truly safe. The figure opens the briefcase with measured precision, revealing documents, keys, and photographs that map out a network of power, influence, and hidden enemies. Each piece tells a story, a puzzle that must be solved, and a warning that even the strongest legacy can crumble under pressure. A sudden movement in the reflection of the polished floor catches the figure's eye. Another presence has entered. The room, silent and deliberate, moving with the patience of someone who knows the stakes. The tension between them is electric, a silent duel of intentions, each measuring the other. Calculating the next step, no words are exchanged, they are unnecessary. The objects in the room, the documents, the briefcase, the scattered papers all speak louder than any voice could. The figure slides a hand across the polished surface, brushing against the items that represent control, strategy, and the fragile power that binds the empire. Outside, the storm rages on, and with every flash of lightning, shadows twist and merge, hiding and revealing secrets in equal measure. The scene stretches as the tension reaches a breaking point. Silence fills the room for a moment, a deceptive pause that holds the weight of consequences yet to come. Every heartbeat, every breath, every glance carries meaning, a reminder that in this world, trust is fragile and betrayal is always near. The storm outside mirrors the storm within, both building, both threatening to erupt, and as the figures stand poised between action and hesitation, the mansion itself seems to hold its breath, waiting for the inevitable clash that will shape the future of the legacy. In this house, in this city, power is never given, it is taken, fought for and defended with everything at one's disposal. And tonight, the first move of a dangerous game has been made, setting the stage for battles that will test loyalty, courage, and ambition in ways that no one could predict. The mansion quivers under the weight of secrets and choices, each room holding the echoes of whispers that could destroy empires. The storm outside has grown into a relentless force, rain pounding against windows, lightning cracking the sky into jagged fragments of white, and thunder shaking the ground beneath the city. Shadows stretch unnaturally across the floors and walls, twisting and colliding as if the house itself is alive, watching the unfolding events with silent anticipation. Every movement inside feels magnified, every glance heavy with meaning. The figure moves with deliberate caution, aware that every step could spark a chain reaction that no one can control. Papers flutter in the wind from a slightly open window, revealing glimpses of plans, maps, and photographs that connect the dots of a legacy that has survived generations but is now under threat like ever before. A sudden noise, a metal clasp snapping, a door creaking sends a shiver through the room. Another presence has entered silently, blending with the shadows, an invisible adversary whose intentions are as hidden as the night outside. The two figures are aware of each other without exchanging a word. Tension crackling in the air like static electricity, each is measuring the other, calculating the next move, aware that the slightest misstep could tip the delicate balance of power. Outside, lightning illuminates the city, casting their elongated silhouettes across the walls, turning ordinary motions into dramatic signs of looming confrontation. Every flicker of light seems to reveal more than it conceals, hinting at threats, betrayals, and alliances yet to form. On a polished table, the briefcase lies open, its contents scattered like clues to a puzzle that only the cunning can solve. Keys, letters, photographs, and documents lie in deliberate disarray, each item representing a choice, a consequence, or a hidden threat. Fingers hover over them, brushing against the edges. Hesitant yet decisive, knowing that these objects hold the power to build or destroy the legacy. The tension is suffocating, thick enough to feel like a physical weight pressing down, reminding everyone in the room that the Empire is fragile and every move carries meaning. Outside, the rain lashes harder, slashing against the glass with a rhythmic intensity, as though mirroring the heartbeat of those who fight silently within the walls. Suddenly, a figure moves toward the window, drawing back a curtain just enough to glance at the city beyond. The lights flicker and dance in the storm, casting fleeting reflections that resemble 1,000 eyes watching, judging, waiting. It becomes clear that the legacy stretches beyond these walls. Every decision made in the mansion ripples through the city like invisible waves. The storm is not the only threat. The unseen enemies lurking in the shadows, the alliances forged and broken in secret, and the whispers of betrayal that travel faster than any messenger are equally dangerous. The figure glances at the documents, the photographs, the objects of power, and a cold realization settles. Knowledge alone will not protect them. Action must be taken, and choices must be made. No matter how dangerous or irreversible, a sudden movement in the reflection catches the eye. Shadow shifts where none should be. The room tenses, the silence so loud it feels like it could shatter glass. Every muscle tightens, every breath is deliberate, and every glance is a calculation. The storm outside mirrors the storm inside, the clash of wills, the collision of ambition, and the potential unraveling of a legacy built on generations of careful planning. Hands reach for the briefcase again, this time with determination, securing the documents that hold the future of the Empire. The distant rumble of thunder crescendos, echoing the intensity within the walls, while outside, fleeting lights suggest figures moving silently in the streets, waiting for opportunity, watching, calculating. For a moment, time feels suspended. Shadows stretch, reflections twist, and the mansion itself seems to hold its breath, aware that the coming decisions will define who survives, who falls, and who inherits the power that has been fought for across decades. The figure steps back, scanning the room one last time, taking in the objects, the shadows, the silent adversaries, and the storm that rages outside. The air vibrates with tension. A warning and a promise all at once. The legacy is alive, unpredictable, and unforgiving. One choice can ignite chaos, one misstep can shatter everything. And in this moment, under the storm's relentless watch and the mansion's shadow gaze, the game of power reaches its peak, ready to explode into a series of events that will change the legacy forever. The city waits, the storm waits, and the mansion waits. Every secret is poised to surface, every alliance tested, and every ambition pushed to its limits. The legacy, once hidden in shadows and whispers, now stands exposed to the storm's light, revealing the strength, the danger, and the cost of claiming power. In the silence between lightning strikes and thunderclaps, one truth becomes undeniable. Power is never given. It is seized, defended, and paid for in choices that echo across generations. And as the storm rages and shadows twist, the first act of a new chapter begins, promising a legacy that is as dangerous as it is inevitable. The storm outside begins to wane, leaving behind streets slick with rain, reflecting neon lights in fractured colors. The mansion, however, is still alive with tension, as if the walls themselves remember every whisper and every betrayal that has ever taken place within them. Shadows stretch long across the marble floors, twisting and converging, creating shapes that suggest movement, plotting, and silent warnings. Every step is measured, deliberate, and heavy with consequence. The figure moves through the mansion like a predator, their eyes scanning every object, every corner, as if expecting a trap to materialize from the darkness. The quiet hum of electricity from chandeliers and devices punctuates the silence, reminding everyone inside that control can shift in a single moment, and the balance of power is as fragile as glass. A letter, previously tucked away in a drawer, has been opened, revealing revelations that stir both anger and fear. The information within is explosive, alliances broken, secrets exposed, and truths that threaten to unravel everything carefully built. The figure studies it with a calm exterior. But the room seems to thrum with the tension of unspoken possibilities. Every heartbeat feels amplified, echoing through the halls, marking the passage of time and the inevitability of confrontation. Outside, distant sirens mingle with the last drops of rain hitting the pavement, creating a rhythm that matches the pulse of anticipation inside. The mansion feels like the center of a storm far greater than the one outside, one where strategies and loyalty collide with ambition and betrayal. Movement in the hallway catches attention. A shadow slips in, barely noticeable, yet unmistakable to the trained eye. This is not a visitor, but a threat calculated, patient, and intent on challenging the delicate hierarchy that governs the empire. Eyes lock across the room, tension sparking like electricity between them. No words are needed. Everything is communicated through posture, gaze, and the subtle movements of hands near objects of influence, keys, documents, weapons.